Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys another 2025 album review. And as you can see below the title, today we're going to be talking about the new album Heimat from the band Heaven Shall Burn, which is out now through Century Media Records. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Heaven Shall Burn, I've talked about them a couple times on my channel. They're a metal band from Germany, been around since 1996. And Heaven Shall Burn for me is a very underrated band. Like, I love these guys probably since I first heard them back in like '09 or 2010 or so. Ever since I heard their album Iconoclast, which in my opinion is still their best album. Ever since I heard the song Enzyte, and that pretty much got me into the band. And for me, I just love these guys, and they've been on my bucket list of bands I really want to see live, and I really wish they would come and fucking tour the States, but that's besides the point. But this is the band's overall 10th album, and this follows up their previous album, which came out in 2020, of Truth and Sacrifice. And with this album, I think this pretty much continues that same vibe. I feel like with every album, I feel like Heaven Shall Burn still maintains what they are, but they also add a little elements and try to experiment while retaining what makes a Heaven Shall Burn album a Heaven Shall Burn album. The production on this album is great. I feel like the band really just has great production overall. And then the vocal work from Marcus Bischoff. I feel like Marcus's like harsh vocals on here are just great. Like, his growls have gotten a lot powerful and a lot heavier. I just think he's a really great vocalist. Then the guitar work from Mike and Alex, both of them come up with some really sick riffs, and just the leads that they play is just fucking great. The bass on this album is pretty audible from Eric Bischoff, Marcus's brother. I feel like the bass on here is compared to like the previous albums, like you can hear the bass a little bit more. And then drumming wise, Christian bass, I think he's a really great drummer. He pretty much keeps the beats and the rhythms with this album. Now, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is Ad Arma. Now, this is a little intro track to start off the album. Now, this definitely takes you back to the Iconoclast album with this intro. Definitely, they sound similar to like Awoken going right into Enzyte. That's kind of the same thing, similar to this album. But like Ad Arma has that little intro, which then leads right into the next song, War is the Father of All. Now, this song is a mid-tempo stomper, and it has some really great guitar harmonics, and just the guitar work is just great. And I feel like this is the first bit of Heaven Shall Burn we've heard with Heimat. Especially the guitar lines in this chorus is just amazing. And I feel like this song is just really catchy too. Like of course Heaven Shall Burn has like no clean vocals at all. But this is one of these songs that I feel like you just can't really help to sing along to. And I think War is the Father of All is a great example for that. Next up is My Revocation of Compliance. Now, this pretty much shows the band's more aggressive side, having that sort of halftime sections, which would get the crowd moving into like the 2000s kind of like metalcore riffing. Next up is Co-Founder, which I believe was one of the first singles released from Heimat. Now, this turns out to be like a super groove melodic death metal track. And this is pretty much what Heaven Shall Burn are known for. Like, a lot of people would lump Heaven Shall Burn with like metalcore or even deathcore, which I don't really consider them that. I would personally consider Heaven Shall Burn a melodic death metal band. And it definitely has just the death metal influences. This is in there, like, you can hear, like, because they're mainly influenced by Bolt Thrower, and you can hear the Bolt Thrower influence, especially in, like, the blast beats that are just in here. Next up is Empowerment. Now, this song, when I first heard this song, I just couldn't help to smile, because when I hear, like, Mother, they're in, like the intro, it's just a pure copy. This sounds like the Danzig song of the same name, but after some seconds, and then we just hear that melodic kind of like death metal song with sort of the catchiest lines on here. Next up is A Whisper from Above. Now, this is true to the melodic death metal side of their sound. Now, this is just packing with like the old school death metal style guitars of like Bolt Thrower or even like Carcass with some sick blast beats. It's just a sick, relentless wave, and we're like halfway through the album. But it's kind of interesting because the next song is a little interlude, which is called Imminence. And I think it's kind of interesting with this song title because there's the band Imminence from Sweden. They have a song called Heaven Shall Burn from their latest album. But now Heaven Shall Burn, the band, has a song called Imminence. It's kind of funny how it kind of goes in like full circle, kind of like similar to like Architects and Rise Against having like songs named after each other. But overall, the song Imminence has like some really great, beautiful strings, which just gives it like a very epic kind of like powerful sound to it. And I think it's a great little way to suit things in before we go into the next song, Those Left Behind. Now, this features some kind of weird like synthesizers in the bridge, which adds like weight and atmosphere to the impact. And like the further use of synths throughout the rest of this album wouldn't go amiss, with the production courtesy of like Alex's guitar tracks to fill the space, and just like the atmosphere suiting the band's penchant with like that kind of anthemic leads, and just like the twin guitar sound is just really, really great. And I feel like this is just a really great song. Next up is 10 Days in May. Now, this delivers some sense of vigor and vitality that few bands have been fighting the good fight for as long as Heaven Shall Burn. And I just think it's a good song. And then we get to an interesting song. Now, this next song is a cover song. This is Numbered Days, which is a cover song originally done by Killswitch Engage. But this song is interesting. It actually features a guest appearance from none other than Jesse Leach from Killswitch Engage. But this is a really great cover. I feel like Marcus's like screams blending in with Jesse's cleans, it really just fits really well with one another. And I think it just both their voices really fit well with this cover. Next up is Dora. Now, Dora is a good song. Now, this is pretty much backed with like the sick drumming from Christian, and then the guitars from Mike and Alex. Just both a freaking great song. Next up is A Silent Guard. Now, this features like all the ingredients from a classic Heaven Shall Burn song. Some great guitar chugging, soaring chorus leads, and then Marcus's like throaty kind of screams, and then the clean breaking guitar work that just, I don't know, just like a typical melodic death metal song. And then we close things out with Inter Arma. Now, this is a great way to end the album, similar to like Ad Arma, which is the beginning. Pretty much ties everything all together. Now, overall, Heimat by Heaven Shall Burn is a really great album. Like, this doesn't sound like overly clean, like leaning towards the warm sounding rhythm guitars, the sick drumming, and then Marcus's vocals pretty much give a great impact in the mix. So if I had to give this album a score, I'm going to give Heimat by Heaven Shall Burn a 8 out of 10. So that's my review of the new Heaven Shall Burn album, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.